So this is the program that I am fetching input data from the Excel. Okay, TC01 underscore skills 78.xlsx. So let me go to that Excel, C drive, HTML report, Orange HRM6, and TC01 78 skills. This one. So this is the program we have seen, and this is the Excel. What I am doing, I'm taking copy and I'm pasting here, and I'm renaming this Excel TC01 skills 80.xlsx. So this is the Excel. It contains these input values. So what I am doing, I want to execute the first iteration on Chrome browser, and second iteration I want to execute on Firefox browser. Hello, can you please go on mute? So I'm going to insert one more parameter, browser. And I'm taking the format painter, just applying the same thing for column header. And first one is Chrome, and second one is Firefox. So I'm saving this program, and I'm saving this Excel, and I'm closing. So TC01 nationality 80.xls contains, where is that Excel? Okay, so this is the Excel which contains input data. So I want to go back to, okay, so let me do one thing. So this is the same program we have developed. The program, this program always it will execute on open Chrome browser only. Okay, but I want to execute program one time on Chrome browser and second time on Firefox browser. So what I'm doing paste here. So Excel 3. So I'm closing this one. Right. So here I want to connect with the TC01 skills 80. So my data provider part is completed. Okay. So second step, what I need to do, can anybody tell me? What is the second step I have to do? No.
If condition.
No.
Browser.
Yes,
String
browser.
browser.
Because in the Excel, we have written one more new parameter, browser. So I have to write string browser. Right. After that, I am calling the required methods. So if I will call these methods all the times, my program will be executed on Chrome browser only. But I'm making this line as comment, and I have to write condition based on browser value. So if browser equals ignore case. Chrome browser test browser dot
Open Chrome browser.
Open Chrome browser. Similarly, if browser value is Firefox, I want to call Firefox browser. So the method, corresponding method I want
I
to
have
call.
a doubt.
One second. So system dot set property Firefox driver path I specified. Okay, and driver is equal to new Firefox browser, and it's maximizing, and thread dot sleep I am writing before 5000, right? So I'm returning this driver object. Okay, so here I am calling Firefox browser method. Okay, right. So this is what we discussed. Okay, so let me execute the program. After that, we can discuss your.
Sir, for this we have to import that a common utility, no, sir.
Yeah, if it is not showing error here, so that means it's got imported automatically. See, 1 second. Common util test browser, where it is got imported. Test browser. Okay, okay. So I have to actually, it is referring from day 34. I have to import from common util. So common util package contains test browser class, and the test browser, it is referring from that class. So like that. Okay. So let me execute this program. The first iteration it has to execute on Chrome. Second iteration it has to execute on Firefox browser. One second. What is the mistake I have done? I have not declared my WebDriver as static. Let me declare that one as static. So everyone understood, right? How to implement browser compatibility testing.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Said that in 31st January 5, I'm not finding that file what you have asked me yesterday to execute that one. Or that is what Gcode driver file.
That you have to download gcodedriver.exe in day 01. You have to navigate.
I have done that. But that Excel sheet you're talking about, that file is missing.
That Excel sheet you can create. Just know how I have done. You can create an Excel sheet and you can do that one.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So like that, we have completed 2 iterations of executions. So 1 second. 1 iteration got success and 1 iteration got failed. That means in Chrome browser, the program it is working perfectly. But in Firefox browser, hello. Somebody is not on mute. Muhammad and Krish, and it's giving disturbance. Can everyone please go on mute, please? Whenever your doubts are there, you can pause me and we can clear it. Okay, right. So now static అనేది ఎందుకు డిక్లేర్ చేయాలనేది I will tell in a separate class. It will this will test about static. I have to tell at least 1 hour, 2 hour session. By that time I will tell you. Okay. Okay. So we have completed data provider labs, and yesterday in emailable reports, okay, we had discussed how to write reporter.log statement. For every set of driver instruction, we have written reporter.log, and whatever log statement you have written, that is generating, that log information is generating in your emailable report. So we understood how to generate testng.xml. We are right clicking and going to testng and convert to testng. So testng.xml was generated. So that's what we discussed. Okay. Similarly, so we also understood the importance of @ before test and importance of @ after test. So in real time, people will write these annotation tags. Okay. Right. Now we are going to discuss about new concept. Parameters. Okay. So what I am doing is, so line number 13, I'm keeping the line number 13 as comments. 1 second. So here, one second, where is this? Okay, one. Okay, this is the program. I'm taking copy. Second program I'm taking copy and I'm pasting here. Test example 2. Okay. So test example 2, this is the program got generated like this. Okay. And here what I am writing is, so this test example 2 program, I'm going to generate testng.xml. Okay. So this one, test example 2, I have got selected. I'm going to testng and I'm clicking on convert to testng. So I'm browsing day 008. Next and finish. See, the testng.xml was generated. Okay. So we understood how to generate the testng.xml. So just you can right click and go to testng and convert to testng so that testng.xml will be generated. So here after generating testng.xml, okay. So this is suit block which contains test block like this. So under test block, I'm writing one code manually. So parameter name is equal to browser and value is equal to Firefox. Okay. Parameter name is equal to browser and value is equal to Firefox. So like that, I have written this line of code. Okay. So parameter name is equal to browser and value is equal to Firefox. So this browser variable contains a value as Firefox. So in my testng class, in the test example 2 program, I want to get that testng parameter value. So whatever this is the parameter value I want to get in my testng program. So in order to get that one, okay, you have to write statement like this. Okay, I'm copying this one. So prior to before test, you need to write like this. So the browse. So here the parameter name in the testng.xml we have given browser name as browser. Suppose if you want to give browser 2, you can write it. So the parameter name browser 2 value contains a value as Firefox. So I am going back to my test example 2. Here I am specifying my browser 2. So parameters, so that at this browser 2 value, it contains a value as Firefox. So if you want to get that value at method level, you need to write a local variable string browser. So that means this browser 2 value automatically it will pass to here. Okay. And after that, I'm not calling these lines of code. Okay. And previous program we have seen in data provider lab 3, I'm going back to that program only. Control C. See, if browser equals ignore case of Chrome browser, I want to call it as I want to map my driver object to Chrome browser. If browser equals ignore case of Firefox browser, I want to map my browser to Firefox browser and driver object is pointing to like this. Understood everyone? So that means previously you have learned, you are declared variables globally in the globally you have declared. Similarly, in the testng.xml also, you can write parameters like this. Parameter name is equal to browser2 and value is equal to Firefox. So here parameter name, you can write whatever you want. And if you want to get that value in your program, so you need to write like this @parameters and you have to specify the parameter name. So if you want to pass that value to local variable, get that value at the method level, you have to declare a local variable so that the browser to value, it will be automatically passed here. And if browser equals ignore case of Chrome, like that, it can be pointed. So now I am going back to my testng.xml and I'm going to execute my program. So this time my program will be executed on which browser? Firefox browser. Okay, because the parameter value, it contains Firefox.
Sir,
Yes, yes.
sir,
Yeah.
when to use that approach and when to use this current approach, like in the test NG we are declaring. Na?
One second, one
I did
second.
not get
Actually,
that
some
point.
other program is running. One second. Let me close all other programs. I have to click on this program. Okay. I will come to that point. So like that, your program is executing on Firefox browser like that. Suppose if you want to execute program on Chrome browser, you can change value here. So no need to do any changes in the program level. So just you can change the parameter value here and go and run the test engine. This time your program will be executed on Chrome browser. That means in the interviews, people will ask, how do you implement browser compatibility testing feature? Okay, in the interviews, people will ask, how do you implement browser compatibility testing? So the preferred answer you have to tell in the interviews. In the testng.xml, I will write testng parameter. So we can, this concept, we can call it as a testng parameter. Okay, so in the testng.xml, I can write testng parameter. So like parameter name is equal to browser and value is equal to Chrome. And in my testng class, okay, in my testng class, I can write @parameters and I can specify the parameter name, whatever I have given. So that parameter name will automatically pass it to my local variable at the method level. After that, I can write a condition if browser equals ignore case of Chrome, then I will write test browser.open Chrome browser. If browser equals ignore case of Firefox browser, my driver object will be point. So like that, I can able to implement browser compatibility feature. So like that, you need to tell in the interviews. Understood, right, everyone? Okay. So how do you, so in tomorrow's class, I will ask this question. Okay. So this is a big lengthy answer. Okay. So what you will do, people will tell answers like this. I will write testng parameter. Who has to tell remaining part? Understood, right? So we will define the testng parameter in the testng.xml. Parameter name is equal to browser, value is equal to Chrome. And in the testng class, I will write @parameter and I will specify the parameter name. And so that the parameter name, it will be automatically passed to my local variable at the method level. Once after that, I can write in the before test section. So like that, you need to explain the condition. Okay. So you are asking something. Okay. Which approach that I have to follow? In lab number 7, you specified input parameter in the Excel, right? And you are getting the browser parameter value. @data provider you have seen, and in the Excel itself you have given. Which approach you have to follow? So might be some people will follow by giving the testng parameter in the Excel. Most of the people will follow the approach by giving the testng parameter in the testng.xml. So whatever it might be, at the method level, your browser parameter value is retrieving that value, and the inside of the logic is same. Okay. So how you are fetching input data from the Excel or from the testng parameter, so it depends on your project which approach they are following. Okay. So most of the cases people will follow testng parameter, we will be defined in the testng.xml. Hope everyone understood how to implement browser compatibility testing. Okay, that's it on lab number 8, emailable report. So now I'm going to tell about lab number 10. lab number 9 we will discuss later, and I'm going to explain about lab number 10. Okay. Can we use if else condition? Yeah, we can use if else condition also. I will tell you when to use if else condition. So in the first class, we have learned simple if condition only. Okay, right. Customize emailable report. So I'm going back to the program. So previously, after driver.get, you are writing reporter.log statement you have written, right? And that reporter class you have imported from org.testng.reporter class. Okay, so reporter is a predefined class in org.testng package. And instead of importing reporter class, so this is the reporter one class I am importing to develop customized emailable report. I am using this reporter one class. See, import package name dot class name. So this is the step one. I have imported reporter one class. So I'm going to develop my own emailable report, not the predefined emailable report. So for that purpose, I'm going to use this reporter one.java class file. Okay. And in step 2, just like WebDriver, how I have declared the object. Similarly, for reporter one class, I have declared object globally, so that this reporter one can be accessible for all the methods. Okay. And after that, R1 is equal to new reporter one of driver comma str. So what is this line meaning? I will tell you once after executing the program. Okay. So str value contains TC01 login. So here in line number 23, I have created an object R1. Reporter R1 is equal to new reporter R1 of driver comma str. So R1 object has been created. And so in step 3, I have created R1 object. And after that, for every set of driver instruction, I'm writing a log statement like this. R1 dot take screenshot auto. So instead of reporter dot log, I'm writing R1 dot take screenshot auto and driver comma, and this is the message I'm writing, and I'm writing pass. So like that, this is the line of code I'm writing for every set of driver instruction. Username entered, password entered, clicked on sign in. So like this, I have written for every set of driver instruction. Instead of writing reporter.log, by using R1 object, I have written log statement like this. Okay. So for this program TC01 underscore test, I have generated a testng.xml. Okay, let me generate testng.xml. So I'm deleting. If it is already there, no need to do. Okay. So I'm going to generate testng.xml, convert to testng. So I need to browse lab number 10. So here TC01 underscore test testng.xml got generated. Okay, 1 second. Something went wrong. Oh, take screenshot of it. Okay, so here my testng.xml is ready. So once after writing all my log statements in my program, I'm going to execute my program testng.xml. Okay, let's run this program. And after that, we can go and check emailable report, how the reporting part will be generated. Okay, so let's go and check in test output folder, emailable report.html. Okay, see here, previously, if you are using org.testng.reporter class, what is happening? Only the plain text has been generated. But here, you are able to see each and every snapshot automatically. For every step, whatever R1.take screenshot auto you have written, you could able to see every screenshot. For every set of driver instruction, you are able to see the snapshot. After clicking on sign in, it's not navigated to home page, and that snapshot has been captured. And when the date and time also it is captured also, we are coming to know. And TC01 underscore login, this is the name. Whenever I'm creating step 3 in R1 object, so TC01 underscore login, this is the name. So whenever my reporter one object name has been created with this name, so that is the name it is coming in my emailable report here. So like this, TC01 login. Okay. So that means now you can tell me which is the best reporting. So importing of org.testng.reporter class is the best one, or reporter one is the best class. If you are importing reporter, so if you are going back to lab number 8 and test example.java here, simply you are writing reporter.log text, simply it is generating only plain text information in your emailable report. Because you are importing this reporter class, so this is a reporter class, predefined class given by test engine. And in my program, I'm importing reporter1.java class. This is the reporter1.java class which was developed by myself. Okay. Generally, this reporter1 supporting class files will be developed by people who are having seniors in the project, at least 7 to 8 years of experience. Those people only will develop these reporting class files. Okay. In case if you got selected any of the project, and if you want, if they're asking you to develop a reporter1, simply you can copy and paste this code and you can reuse it in your projects. Okay. And how to develop this reporter one part, you can come to know slowly after 3 years or 4 years experience only. Because to write these supporting class files, it will take at least a lot of you have to be expertise in HTML and Java, all those stuff. Okay. But nobody will expect you to develop reporting class files who is having at least 3 to 4 years experience. People, they won't expect. Okay. So this is the reporter one class I have imported, and I have declared just like WebDriver, and I created an object here. And after that, I'm writing log statements like this. So my reporting parts was generated with the required screenshots and everything. Understood, right? So whenever client is asking, if you are sharing the reports with the screenshot evidences also, it will prove that your test has been executed successfully. Krish, can you please go on mute, Krish? Okay. So like that, we could able to develop the reporting part. So that means lab number 8, 9, 10. All these 3 labs are related to reporting part only. Okay. So whether you will follow default emailable report or whether you follow customized emailable report, it depends on your project, which kind of reporting, which kind of reporter class file that you have to import, and how you have to write log statement in the project, that it has to cover as part of the project KT. Okay. Once you joined in any of the project, the main attention point you need to take attention is how to write log statement for the set of driver instruction. You need to understand that point. And as part of the KT, what kind of method people are using. Okay. So that in your emailable report, that that in the reporting part, that statements will be generated. Suppose I have given invalid locator ID here. I have given invalid locator ID. So during this time, how my emailable report it will work, let's see this part now. Okay. So I'm saving this program and I'm going to execute my testng.xml and I'm running this. So it's could not able to locate the web element. What kind of exception it will throw? No such element exception, because I have given invalid locator. So let's go to emailable report. See here, nothing was generated. That means something went wrong in your program. So the locator name is invalid. That's why nothing was generated. The program execution it's failed, and all the log statements has not been generated. So that's what we understood. Okay. So it's easy to understand the reporting part as well. So now you have to fix that issue, and after that you can rerun it. So the objective of lab number 8, 9, 10 is, okay. So if you join in any of the project, what kind of reporter class that you have to import, and how to create the object for that reporter class, and what kind of line of code that you need to write log statement. That is the main attention point you need to observe if you join in any of the project. I'm not telling people will use only reporter one class across the world. Okay, they might use some different class name. And the concept you need to understand here is how the people are importing the reporter class, and how the object has been declared, and how the methods has been invoking, and how to write log statement. That's what you need to understand. Okay, generally in outside of the classes or outside of the institutes, people, they won't tell about lab number 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is the real-time part. It will be missed in the projects. Okay, so you need to focus, and you need to import what kind of reporter class it is being imported. Okay, yeah, Mohammed, go ahead.
Yeah, sir, actually in the company they will provide these files to us during the KT, or just we need to prepare by ourselves?
No, in the suppose if you open any of the TestNG class,
Just reporter class.
if you are going and observing this is the TestNG class, you are seeing log statement like this. Immediately you can go and press control button on this object. So you can able to see, okay, this is the object has been created, and this is the reporter one class being executed, importing from which class you can come to know. So this is the reporter one class is being, so like that you need to understand from where the package has been imported.
So in the project files, all this will be stored, right?
Yeah, it will be there, but I'm not telling exact reporter one will be there in the project. I'm not telling. So they might use the class name as something different. Okay.
Okay.
So just for sample and example purpose, I'm telling how to write log statements and how to develop customized emailable report. I'm telling that's it on. Okay. So now let's go back to lab number 9. Extent reports. So this is the extent reports. This is the most of the companies, 50% of the projects, they are following extent reports. Okay, extent reports means extent report.html will be generated. Okay, so now let's see how to generate extent report.html. So let me go to extent reports test.java. Okay, this is the sample program. So to develop extent reports, so these are the supporting class files, com.eventstack.extend reports. So these are not Selenium programs. These are not TestNG programs. These are the extend reports class and extend test class and media entity builder, extend HTML reporter. These are the class files was developed by EventStack team. Okay. So to develop extend reports, we have to import these class files. Okay. These are the class files which has been developed by third-party people, not TestNG team, not Selenium team. If it is TestNG, you could able to see the package name like this, org.openqa.selenium. If it is Java, you could able to see import.java. Like that you could able to see. But these are the class files which are developed by EventStack team. So to develop extent reports, you have to import, these are the supporting class files. So this is step 1. Okay, I mentioned in step 1. And in step 2, I declared WebDriver object driver instance. Similarly, I have to declare this. This is the declaration part I have to develop, and I have to follow for extent reports. See here, this is the extents. This is the extent test. For this one, I am creating an object as logger. And see, this is the one extent reports. For this one, I am creating the object name as extent. And string screenshot path I declared. And test script name I have written whatever test script name that I want to develop. And so like this, I had declared step 2 part in the declaration. Okay, so where I'm going to use these objects, we will see in the program. Okay, that means for this class and for this class, I have created an object, remaining all string variables. Okay, so this is step 2. as per the OpenStack development team, we have to import these class files. And step 2, this is the process we have to follow, declaration part. And coming to step 3, once browser is launched, as per the extent reports documentation from their website, so we have to write these lines of code. See here, step 3 starts here and step 3 ends here. That means this is the line of code I have to follow in every TestNG class. So I copied and pasted the documentation part from their website. Okay, what is this step 3? I will tell you again. And coming to step 4, so the main part, once you write driver.getTest URL, or once you write driver.findElement by ID, we need to write log statements. So if you are using if you are following extent reports log statement, you need to write 2 lines of code. If it is customized emailable report, you have written only 1 line of code for log purpose. But in extent reports, you have to write 2 lines of code. See the string score, this is the one, screenshot path is equal to extent report dot capture of driver comma test script name. So the screenshot path, so the snapshot, it will be captured and the snapshot path will be saved here. And logger dot pass, and within the double quotation, you can write whatever message that you want to write. And this is the screenshot path I'm passing here. So that means these 2 lines of code I'm writing, copying and pasting for every set of driver instruction. So I'm writing login page, password entered. So and after clicking on login button, so login page, clicked on login. So I'm writing, and this is the screenshot path reference I'm getting. So finally I have to write extend.flush. So to generate extend HTML report, I have to write extend.flush. So these are the 4 steps I have to follow to generate extend reports. Okay, let me repeat one more time. First, for any of the reporting class files, okay, so OpenStack team, they have given extend reports. So I imported all the supporting class files. That is step 1. And step 2, so the declaration part, I have to declare for extend test, I have to create an object. And for extend reports, I have to create an object. And screenshot path also I declared, and test script name, whatever I'm giving this name, where I'm going to use, you will come to know here bottom. So after that, step 3 part, this is the part you no need to remember. What is this part? I will tell you. So Control C and Control V, as per their documentation, just simply I copied their code and I pasted once after launching the browser. And so the main attention point is how you are writing log statement for every set of driver instruction. So for every set of driver instruction, here I'm writing 2 lines of code like this. So screenshot path is equal to extend report dot capture of driver comma test script name, and logger object we have created logger dot pass, logger dot pass, logger dot pass, and we are passing the screenshot. So let me go and execute extend.flush. HTML report will be generated. So if you don't write extend.flush, extend report cannot be generated. So if you want to see more details about extend.flush, just keep the mouse over here.